is the most visited country in the world every year. Last year, 89 million people alone visited there. Combine that with the fact that France has the 6th highest economy in the world, it is obvious that it would only be to our benefit to make a business connection with our potential French client. Now, in business endeavors, the French value preparedness and formality above all. Now, I have spent many hours researching credible sources in order to find the information to give to you that you need to know in order to make the best connection possible with them. It is important to know both French and American history and culture, respect the hierarchy in France business culture, and use formal language and attire in business meetings. Now, when you think of France, often the first thing that comes to mind is their culture. The arts, the language, the food. Now, preparing a few simple French phrases will show respect for their language. You also need to be able to discuss both their culture and your own home culture and show that you have a high intellect because education is very important in the French business world. One simple French phrase is Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Je m'appelle Lilybuck. This means, hello, how are you? My name is Lilybuck. Now, according to Keith Warburton, it is very rude to butcher the French language. So if there's nothing you can learn but one phrase, it should be this. Excusez-moi s'il vous plaît de vous déranger, mais je ne parle pas bien français. This translates to, please excuse me for troubling you, but I don't speak French very well. While they respect the effort of learning a few French phrases, they'll also have respect for you for apologizing for not being able to speak it. Now, when it comes to small talk, do not expect personal questions. This is not seen as polite when meeting for the first time. Instead, expect a lively discussion of both the culture in your home country and the culture in France. A business degree is very difficult to obtain in France, so they expect the business people they work with to have the same amount of preparation and intellect that they had. Education is mostly free in France, but this means that in order to obtain a spot in their college and universities, a series of hard tests is involved. So when you're also talking with them, make sure you use their titles because they were very hard earned, along with their degree. So to earn respect from French business people, learn a couple of phrases, really know the culture of both yourself and them, and be able to prove your intelligence by coming well prepared. Now, while preparing your knowledge of French culture and history, you will see that there is a hierarchy in all of French society. They have a structured business hierarchy, the top to the bottom, and they also plan out their work because they are a risk avoidance culture. The power distance is high, meaning that the people at the bottom know they're probably going to stay at the bottom, and the top knows they'll stay at the top. Sully Novella's article, Hofstede Cultural Dimensions in France, says, upper management often has privileges and they're inaccessible to those who work beneath them. They have the final say, they are treated formally in all situations and do not socialize or make friends with those who work beneath them in any part of life. In fact, a lot of French citizens follow the same separation of the classes. Now, France is an uncertainty avoidance culture, which means they want to avoid taking risks at all costs. Everything is well planned ahead, not just in business, but in life. But in the business world, this means that France is very competent in those industries that require a lot of forethought and detailed planning. Roles are always defined, and they want control in all aspects of their life. French do the business in their hierarchy and well plan out things to avoid the risks. Now that we have discussed the generalities of French business culture, let's discuss the business etiquette. Business meetings in France require formal attire and greetings, expertise in your proposals, and to not expect a decision to be made at the end of their meeting. For the attire, France is the fashion capital of the world, and first impressions mean a lot. So while you need to use a conservative professional dress, the men should be wearing suits that the jacket stays on at all times, and women should wear either pantsuits, suits with a skirt, or a dress. For greeting, you want to greet everyone in the room professionally and courteously. You use their last names and titles unless otherwise invited to use first names. with a quick light handshake. Remember, do not use mademoiselle for women. Monsieur and madame are you always use in all business areas. And always prepare with your business cards to be both in English and French to show, again, that respect for their language. As well, your entire proposal that you bring with you should be fully translated by a professional into the French language so that they may also fully understand what you are giving them. From the Quintessential website, it is said that while there is much discussion about all the details of the plan you are bringing to the table, it is very rare that a decision will be made at the end of the meeting. This will usually go up to a higher up later on, and then the decision will be made. Now, as I finish, let's remember the significant points. The French have a lot of pride in their culture and their history. They respect those who are willing to learn and to have knowledge of themselves and also for their own home culture. You should be prepared with your proposal because of the risk avoidance. They want all the details backed up and ready to talk about. Keep your meetings professional and formal to make a good business relationship with our potential French client. Our company needs to work with this country that has the most visitors every year and is the 6th highest ranking economy. In order to do that, you will need to go home and do your homework and prepare, not only have our proposal fully thought out with every detail backed up with facts, but also immerse yourself in the French culture and language in order to make a lasting impression on our future client to come home and bring home the yes.